Hey there, Cancer. This is Joy with Joy of the World, here to take an intuitive peek into the energies going on around you. Friends and subscribers, welcome back. And if you're new to this channel, be sure you click that subscribe button, ring the bell, and they'll notify you anytime I post new videos. Also, if you find you like the content we provide here at Joy to the World, please give us a big thumbs up, like, and share. I want to give a shout out to those who've been giving donations into the channel. You touch my heart. I'm so thankful for you. Now, let's get into this, what's going on here, Cancer. In the pre-shuffles, when I was getting the decks all freshened, you were telling me, love, love, love. I'm ready for love. 10 of Cups, 1 of Cups. You got the 6 of Cups, and it just kept cup, cup, cup. Those same cards kept showing in each cup, each cut, each shuffle, all that. And I was like, oh, okay. Okay, Cancer, you got there really hot and heavy really quick. And you were telling me that you want the real deal. Then your belly began to speak to me. And it said, if you want the real deal, then you need to be the real deal. And I was like, boom. Okay, Cancer, tell me what that's about. Sorry, y'all, my eye's itching. I said, tell me what that's about. And you told me to go the color oracle deck. So I did. And what I see laid out in front of me is that you've got some things blended, some merged, some omitted, some put out of place, out of order, that type of thing. And this is just for today. We're talking about today and where we're at today, because you're letting me know it's that easy to change your mind. So what I see going on before me is you see what you say, which is letting me know there's some, it's having a lot to do with your body and some negative self-speak. Maybe even like some belittling, begrudging, those type of energies going on. And that's why the throat chakra is very strong too. Because even if you don't say it out of your mouth, the strength of which your intelligence, okay, and your intuition is putting it out there is doing damage. All right? So it's been some time, and since you've known who you were, you went through some difficulty, some ripple, some ruffle of time going on, and you lost sight of who you are. And it's not relevant at how long ago it actually was. Time is irrelevant in this issue. It's that knowing that you've lost sight of yourself is what is important, which is why the white is down here. So we're going to take it, and we're going to put it at the top. We're going to shift these guys down and begin to see what happens here, okay? Because the goal and our focus now, let me bring it to you, is to get our sights on who we are. Get our sights on who Cancer is here. What makes you your real deal? What is your truth? What is your central point of, before creating the fractal, right, that makes it all come out into the rays of radiance. So what is your uniformity? So let me put these here. So we had 2 rune cards. Gotta make space, guys. So we have recover. You are important, and the self. Receptive, integrity, abide, stillness, willing presence, mirror, balance. Okay. And this is like James Brown says, oh, you make me want to kiss myself. So this is the rune of joy. And when they're together like that, the self, it's being able to see yourself as you truly are, having that clear vision. Okay. And that's what this is. This is joy. Getting to know your half of the story. So somewhere you bought some lies, maybe even lies from your eyes. It could be from advertising. It could be from modern music, television, maybe even close loved ones, friends, family, maybe even what someone else had spoken over you. And it could go through a variety of time that somehow you've been, whittling away at who you are, that all you have left is this blasted toothpick, right? And is saying, well, let's start over again. Let's just start just for today and take a look at who you are today. And a good way to get an image of that, a blank slate, is to think about what you enjoy. When you think about what you enjoy, like characteristics in friends or loved ones, maybe even the type of humor that you have, the colors that you like to wear, those type of things, and don't make that the end-all be-all. But just like you've got a basket and you're tossing that piece of wisdom, that little piece of information in there to be considered, right, as part of, before you're making it your definition, okay? You're putting in the bag, you're putting in the bowl, in the basket, okay? So let's get, which cards do we want to use? We're going to get with some cosmic. Haven't seen these puppies in a minute. So let's come down the center channel. Because here, what you did is you took your solar chakra, your breath, your confidence, your ability, and you blended it with your sacral chakra. So some of you, that could have been a sexual connection that really had the strongest sway in how you think, feel, and believe about yourself. Because they're blended together. That you find your identity through how physically attractive you are, because the Nine of Wands came out first. And this is distorting your vision, your view. You're becoming a prisoner of it. You, it's like backbiting is what I see going on here. That who and what you are is never enough, never good enough. And that voice is your own. And this pride, it has to do with the eye, or the eyes, the distortion of what you're seeing. Because what you're seeing, other people clearly are not. They're not seeing the same thing you are. They're seeing that that you're a little harsh on yourself, that you're not seeing the beauty. You're seeing the thorns and not the rose. You're not getting the fragrance. You're so like a plate of glass, kind of removed from the engagement, interaction of your beauty, of your hallmark, your characteristic, of your essence. That kind of creates a drought to where it becomes a repetitive reiteration. When it becomes that repetitive reiteration, it has now come to life. Look at this. Not just the color, but look at how it's beginning to move and morph. It's distorting your self-image. Okay, and it's contorting and it's forming to this mindset, to this distorted vision that you have going on here, as opposed to the clear vision of the leadership that you have. And that leads into this manifest power of the Eight of Swords. I hear walking on broken glass. Walking on broken glass. And just as a joke, y'all, broken mirror, 7 years bad luck, right? So that's a pretty big cycle. That's a pretty big cycle to have been stuck in. And that, saying that, although it's funny, that 7 years is important to some of you guys in your journey, in the facet of how your spirit and guides are talking to you about this. But you were walking on eggshells, skating on thin ice, walking on broken glass, and it distorted the star that you are. It distorted your beauty. And because I have a feeling that you had a lot of what is revered, we'll just say in modern society, but really it had to do with your verve. It had to do with the fluidity of your grace. It had to do with the ease of your expression, that you were one with yourself. It's like wearing clothes that are tailor-made. They look fantastic on you because every nip, tuck, and curve isn't done to your flesh. It's done to the clothes that are put on you so that it moves with you. When you fill out your form, when you fill out your skin, and you take on the fullness of who you are, it moves with you. And there's no distortion to the eyes going on. Wow. Okay, so let's step over here to Cherry. Let's take a look, because that's a 9. That's returning to self and how to live that extraordinary life. How do you return to yourself here? Getting rid of the thorns and not snipping them off, but changing your viewpoint. All right, getting in, walking in that garden, getting off the broken glass, thin ice, eggshells, all that being relegated to the night, to the dark, to the disease, to the distance is what you're telling me, to the deformation. That's a power that this person holds over you. They may not be around anymore, but they are in your mind. So that's way too many, y'all. Show us this extraordinary life for Cancer and how to connect with themselves and fill out yourself to be one with your flow, your essence again, to be extraordinary, right? To pass away that old life, to shed that skin. Okay. Well, here you come. The Lovers. That is this. Look. Seeing yourself. You see the Lovers? Knowing that you are lovable, and that you are loved, and that you are lovely. Going back and commanding to yourself, using that voice, the same voice, whether it's the spoken one or whether it's this one, the projected one, the one that we're seeing, to distort that image, and begin to see yourself as lovely, lovable, as divinely crafted and creative, that you are this creative force of life, of beauty, of exceptionality. That one's come in. And watch it change things. Oh, yeah. Watch your life begin to pick up and move. See, they're going on. These two are working together. These two horses, they're both proceeding in the same direction, and they're getting to move on quickly. Okay, and you're equipped and prepared for this. With that new mindset, with knowing that you are lovely, lovable, like there is, I would say it's hesitation here, but it's not. It's that moment of consideration of and you choose to trust. You choose to fill out your form. You choose to let your essence flow. You choose to bloom as that rose, to be that magnificent, to be the delightful garden, to be the kingdom is what you're telling me. And so now it's running towards the cyan, the reestablishment of your voice. It says build your confidence. Build your confidence. That's 35. It's creative power. Your confidence is your creative power, okay? That's what you're letting me know, is you were so in tune with your energy, so in sync, so true to yourself, that it demonstrated itself as confidence, which is why there was that breaking down, that tearing down going on. So under it, first card that came in is the Queen of Wands. It says, know thyself. And you've done away with the blood, but there's still a little bit of the sweat and tears going on here. Calm, cool, collected on the outside, like I know where I'm going, but inside there's still a little bit of a quaver, a little bit of a quiver, that type of an energy going on. But I do see that it's begun to restore your high heart. It's begun to flush you back out again. So the blood is no longer you bleeding out. It's put blood in your veins. It's put oxygen in your veins. For what? Oh, good. See, I don't do inversions in my deck, but they're allowed to come in inverted to speak. That way I keep the decks cleared for each reading, so they'll be authentic to who you are and where you guys are at. So here we had the Five of Pentacles coming in inverted. It's literally the light is being restored, you knowing your value and your worth, deciding that here it's kind of like guidance, is saying that you know your crown. Hold your head up. It's not your job to be worrying what other people think about you. That's their business. Mind your own business is kind of what you're saying, because your light, you shine, you're full up in who you are, going out, living and executing your life, being the essence of who you are. It's not your problem. It's not your problem how others think. That's their business. And that's taking the weight off your shoulders, the brick off your mind is what you're showing me here. Okay. So what do we want to do with this? I want to get credit cards instead. Let's get some credit cards as we move over to this Emerald and the Mauve for Cancer. To your credit, Cancer. Okay. All right. Felt like a lot more. So we have truth and all things are possible. Believe. Genius. So this is the truth, but it came in like this. Okay. And all things are possible. Believe in your genius. Except, let's see, it came in like this. So it came in like that. Okay. So we'll get to that. Emerald, calm your mind, body, and soul. They're saying start a new generation. is what they're telling me. It would be a new ripple, but a new generation completely, because first of all, love had grown cold, and they're not wanting to awaken that energy again. So a new generation is, you're no longer taking, or they're taking me from the garden over here, from the roses, from the flowers. You're no longer taking a cutting off of that mother plant, off of that source and that origin that beget all this thorny garden. The one that gave the distorted perspective, right? So you start a new generation, begin fresh and new. Decide who you are and how you're going to see it, okay? But get in the truth of your essence first, right? On those things that move you and groove you and cause you to flow and to open up. And then begin to let the essence of that truth make its way down to you. So I see here also some essence of spirituality, of some prayer, some meditation, whichever way you want to call it. They're actually both the same. People often think prayer is talking, meditation is listening, but prayer is also devoted listening. So they're really just neither here nor there, potato, okay? But some spiritual reflection going on to begin to prime that pump and start the flow, a new flow of who you are. Don't take it off of any old mindset, okay? So tune. All right. Ooh, so that brings in the Nine of Cups. Remember how you said you want the real deal? To me, this is the pinnacle of the Lover's card in this deck, okay? You see those cups, they're like mead. They're fermented honey. It's something that it might have been a long time coming, but they've been protected. See how they're all sealed up, how they have covers over them to keep the flies, the nasties, the bitters, those type of things out that like to feed on this deliciousness as well. It has been saved for you guys. It's been saved for this moment in time. So they're saying, be done with being upset, thinking that you messed up, that it took too long, that why did I get to this, how long is it going to take me? Because that's what the white card keeps saying, is tell them it's not about the time. Yes, it's been a long time. It's not about the time. It's about today. It's about here. It's about now. And that's why I love that the today card came in and is crowning the new crown, right? It is like the pearl in the crown is take the wisdom of today. It's really a shift in your mind that shifts your whole perspective. When your perspective shifts, you're going to see the truth, the way in the life. Okay. All right, we'll roll with that, baby. And then in comes this as well. Not just face to face, but between heaven and earth, which is fantastic because they were talking about letting the truth come in, letting that spirituality come in, and giving you an even grander perspective of how life loves you, of how beautiful and radiant you are, and your purpose in this world, and also the meaning therein, and that all those things that you felt were wasted and spoiled have been collected and gathered for your crowning glory, for your wedding day, is kind of how they're saying it. Like, that's the union, the restoration of yourself. And I mean, it can be marriage all, but we have to understand the energies behind it, the synergy going on. Instead of just wanting the thing, the gift without the giver, they're like, get the gift with the giver, because then it lasts. Then it lasts. Okay, we have one in the lap. So let's take a look here. Three of Pentacles. Let me show it to y'all, and then I'm going to take a closer look. Kind of the moon, the stages of the mind messing with you a little bit. Has some high priestess energy in here. And the layers of the mind, subconscious, unconscious, frontal lobe. And that can mess with some of your gut instincts. Distrust of yourself. So they're saying trust your gut. Trust your gut. Your heart has to do with your intuition. That you're still learning and growing here, but you can trust your gut. You're very, very belly driven is what they were telling me and showing me before I turned the camera on today. And so they're saying your sun is still in the place there. It's illumined. And go with your gut when in doubt. Okay? That's kind of practical advice right there, but that's still important. And it will help. as opposed to deconstruct you. It will help rebuild you, okay, past the loss into the glory, into the restoration, you know, kind of the wedding. Well, this is like the wedding chapel, that type of a thing, okay? So, yeah, I see you here. I'll bring you out now. The T cards are wanting to talk for a moment, y'all. I remember that they had before, mentioned beforehand, but I forgot to keep up with that. Let's get a T on this emerald. Okay, wheel. Indecisiveness, allowing your life to ramble aimlessly. Okay. So that's clarifying more about the belly. And I mean, wheel, pentacle, same thing, right? Isn't that not trusting yourself? Is you're saying like, well, I don't know. So you just kind of here and kind of there, because you're like, well, let me check it out. Let me get a little bit of a perspective. Let me get a little bit of a view and see if this piece will fit into the puzzle. If this goes along, what's this going to let me know? And it's a lot of careening about, like a trip, a journey, that if you just waited and you took a moment, you took that time, that spiritual connection, you could just wait right here and then you could go the 10 miles like that. Or instead of waiting to see what you receive, you trust your gut, that whole thing going on, you're instead following that indecisiveness, that journey of the heart, the meandering. And so that 10-mile journey takes 10 times as long as it would have if you had just waited. The time waiting is a wise investment, is what they're saying here. It will conserve your time and effort, which conserves your resources as well. Spiritually, financially, the whole big thing. All right, so the next card we have coming in, I know that's messing with your mind because you're getting me right here. You're like, well, that doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. That's all right. Your spirit and your guides and your time to sit and reflect, these things can sit and kind of like making tea. It sits in that water until it begins to release itself and make an infusion and begin to make sense to you, okay? Yeah, because that is, that kind of got you there. So anyways, the next is mauve. Enjoy clear hearing. Number 43. This is lilac. Lilac is a very cheerful, a very brightening energy. It's different than the cheeriness of the cherry. The cherry's like, that type of like, I know something you don't know, But mauve is more like, what do I not know? What does today hold for me? It has to do with like surprise and wonderment. Kind of like the heartfelt vision of a child coming along. To keeping your mind in that sort of state, keeping it ready and receptive in that sort of state. It's a perfusive state, because look how many little blossoms there are. A lilac bush is just shrouded with these heads of multiple blossoms going all the way around. And talk about being pollinated. Man, life is busy on a lilac bush. So there's lots to do, plenty to enjoy. The engagement, the interaction, the divine intervention, they're saying. And up above it, we have, remember this card? It's coming in like this. So it begins to shine a light on your future. Brighten up your day. Just allowing that attitude to live and dwell there and to dwell around your headspace. Now that you're not like doing that with the heart, exhausting yourself, wearing yourself out, wearing this object out that sits at the top of your shoulders, and giving it that moment, that meditation to then move you forward swiftly and promptly. It opens up this energy. It invites this energy, and then that energy awakens the synergy of life. So it's very pollinating. It's very reproductive. It's like the wheel, turning. The wheel to me is the dynamic between work and play. All right. And also the stages of rest in between. So allowing this to be done for you, allowing it to open up the possibilities. And that's where your resource for believing comes from. The fuel for believing, and that investment is coming in. So let's get a tarot under this mauve about that profusive energy of your future. The abundance. I saw you trying. Okay, there you are. Interesting. So we have the Two of Swords. But in this deck, to me, it never plays up as the traditional. Now that you're on the same page with your spirit, you've been able to put your sword down. The wearing out of your mind has made life welcoming. It's no longer threatening. Like for Cancer, to me, is very much a night energy. It's when, like, the little crabs, the little ghost crabs, they come out and play. Not because they don't come out during the day. They definitely do when the beach is less inhabited, less populated, especially in the cooler months. But you guys are at peace here. You're feeling at home. You're feeling mostly at home is what you're saying. All right? And you see the opportunity to move on from this. You see that things are starting to resonate for you and to make sense. Now that the heart isn't doing that old Two of Swords anymore. The Two of Pentacles. Let me check it out. Let me check it out. Let me check it out. Let me see how this goes. That type of energy. You've gotten in along with the One. Things have begun to confirm themselves and begin to make sense. And it gives you the clarity of, you're saying path making. It makes your path clear. Okay. So let's see what we've got here. I'm going to get a magical mystical oracle for you guys to take you out into your day, into your week, and into your fabulous life. We have 22, like a bird. Fly, baby, fly. You were made to. You've got wings. Spread your wings. You have to sit around here, living a grounded life anymore. You were made for the stars. You were made for this cosmic energy, your dreams coming true, and for you to see how beautiful you are and how you, not just how much you nurture life, but to begin to receive the blessing of how much life nurtures you, loves you, nourishes you, that is the togetherness of that relationship that harmonizes, synchronizes, and makes you the real deal. Talk about getting you on the page with yourself, filling out your skin. That's the finest outfit you can wear, baby. I'm glad they've calmed this energy and that you've moved through to where you feel free and can have the wind in your hair. All right, Cancer. It's Joy saying bye for now.